Hey there, welcome to day 2 of Thesis in 3 weeks. You got through yesterday, you're back again today, and it will take you a couple of days to get in the groove of this whole 3-week project. So you probably are going to have to defend yourself to a couple of your friends, maybe some family members, but make sure that you stick with your calendar and you keep yourself moving. So we're going to start today with a little bit of a warm-up, and that is to create your blank manuscript from a template in your word processor. So Microsoft Word has a nice APA template that you can create. I've got a video on that too. If you use another type of formatting in your discipline, check with somebody in your department to see if anyone has a template that you can use. Key with your template is that you need to format your headings and subheadings and text so that it meets the requirements, but also your headings should be at the right level. Heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and that will help you build your table of contents later on, so you do not ever have to do that by hand. So insert your title page, your information, and then make sure that you have just headings for each section of your paper, because you're going to be building the paper as you're going along and doing your research, not just writing. So customary to have introduction, literature review, methodology, results, conclusions or discussion. Some theses will format chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and others are written more like a scientific paper. So if you have a prospectus, you can paste in information from your prospectus into the different sections of your paper. A little helpful hint: when you have kind of temporary text or placeholder text that needs to be edited, make it in a different color font. And that will remind you that, oh, I have to go back and fix this later. But if it was your prospectus or your proposal, you can actually reuse that content in your paper itself. And so using your style sheet reminded you about that, and then make sure that you have a space in the appendix to put tables and figures. You don't want to put those in the body of your thesis most of the time. If you're told to put them in the body of your thesis, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, put them in the appendix. So make a space for that. If you're doing a systematic review, the space that at the back of your appendix, or actually it might not be fully at the back, but you'll need to have a summary table, and we'll talk about that as well. So next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the end of your introduction section, wherever that is, and you're going to write, the purpose of this research is to blank, 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 blank. So whatever your purpose is, fill in that blanks, and that's going to be your North Star. So in my case, the purpose of my research is to examine the best recipe for cooking a whole chicken. And so I want to just remember it's that. I'm not going out and raising chickens or talking about the history of chickens, whatever. The little bits of that might be part of my paper, but I'm looking at a recipe for chicken. So next thing you're going to do is you're going to review your notes that you have so far. Take notes on 6 to 8 more references. So the admin work that you did probably will take you half an hour to do. Now you've got 6 to 8 more references. You're taking notes, and if you think about it, you take the 6 or 8 you did yesterday, and then you take the 12 to 15 that you had at the beginning, and you've got a lot of data. You've already learned something. And so we want to capitalize on that. When you're taking notes on your references, you're skimming, you're not reviewing, go back and have a look at what you've done so far in terms of your notes, and you'll start to see something. It's something very tiny, but you'll start to see something. And so you will notice that some of the material will be actual data in your research, and some of your material is very introductory. So this can help you figure out where you're going to be using these references in your manuscript itself. So taking notes on these, and if you don't know, we're going to keep reading, but eventually you're going to need to sort all of your references out so that you know this is data I'm analyzing for my research, and this is all the background information and review of literature that will be the introductory and rationale for my research. So start categorizing those references, and then once you're finished with your 6 to 8 references that you have in your table, go back through, look at the table, and start to look for themes. And you can just write themes at the back of your notes and write 3 things that you see from general references, 3 things that you see maybe from surveys or epidemiological research, 3 things that you see there, and 3 things that you see from your data articles. We're looking for variables, we're looking for patterns in the data articles, but you just want to comb through the materials that you have and see what you've learned so far. And that's it for today. Save all of your work, and we'll see you tomorrow.